the top thing that you're going to be looking for early on with Jamel Herring at 38 years of age making his return?
Well, you call it a layoff, but he called it a retirement originally. So he was done for a minute. Has decided that he's got more to give. Is coming in. He's going to test the waters against this young fighter who, let's face it, hasn't fought any kind of opposition like Herring. However, I've looked at some tape of Molina, and he looks strong. He looks sturdy. Teofimo Lopez in here doing backflips, taking over. But you know, Molina can punch. He's sturdy. He's strong. Having said that, his last opponent was 22-22. Does that prepare you for a guy for a guy like Jamel Herring, even if he's coming off, you know, a year-and-a-half layoff or retirement? Yeah, I don't know.
A very, very large step up in competition for Nick Molina, no matter how you want to slice it with Jamel Herring and his 18-month layoff or retirement. Any way you want to slice it. Herring 23-4, 11 knockouts. Molina, meanwhile, 13-0, 5 knockouts. As we take a look at the tail of the tape leading into Herring and Molina, there you see it. Jamel Herring, a lot of people question with the age, obviously, 14 years between Molina and Herring. Jamel Herring will be quick to mention, hey, even before my retirement, I was fighting guys much younger than me. The Shakur Stevens, the Jermaine Ortiz, Lamont Roach, there was a 10-year difference right there. But there is a height advantage, a reach advantage for Jamel Herring, and also that world championship experience. Herring has the plan. He wants to go on what he calls a European tour after getting through Molina, but he has to get through Nick Molina here tonight.
Is the Herring that dominated Carl Frampton still there? Can he still bring that guy out? We're going to find out tonight.
The road back to a championship in Herring's eyes begins right here at Edison Ballroom. Let's get it going with Matt Compitello.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our main event of the evening. Here at Heroes on the Hudson, live from the Edison Ballroom in New York City. It takes place inside of 8 rounds in the lightweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, about to approach the blue corner at this time, here is Nicholas Molina.
And as we mentioned moments ago, look, 24-year-old Nick Molina, he knows this is a large step up in competition, but the fighter out of Lowell, Massachusetts, and the people around him say that he's ready for this. 13-0, 5 knockouts. Molina described as a subtly good boxer who makes the most of his tools in the ring, and he's banking on that youth beating out Herring's experience tonight. And that was the case in July when Molina won a unanimous decision over the veteran Aldemar Silva. But Molina's trainer, Manny Farley, he summed up this opportunity for Nick, saying that this is probably the biggest fight for a guy coming out of Lowell since, you guessed it, Mickey Ward, yes, when he went up against Arturo Gatti.
Look, the good news is Molina's only a 3-year pro. He's got 13 fights. He's been very, very active. The bad news is he's only fought 3 opponents with a winning record. So we'll get into that a little later. But big step up, but also with a big step up comes huge opportunity. If he wins this today, he's right in the mix.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent approaching the red corner. Here's Jamel Herring.
It is the return of Mr. Semper Fi, the Marine Sergeant, the former world champion. Jamel Herring turned 38 last Monday. He says he's feeling loose. There's no nagging injuries. And with new trainer Wayne McCullough, the former champ, his defense is sharper than ever. Herring said he's always been thought of as an offensive fighter, but what will his improved defense allow him to do here? And despite what he may be feeling, what will Herring's body allow him to do as he returns from that 18-month layoff and fights someone 14 years younger? Herring isn't just back to be back here. He wants another run at a world title. And again, that run for the former WBO champion of the world begins now.
Ladies and gentlemen, our main event of the evening here at Heroes on the Hudson takes place in the lightweight division inside of 8 rounds. It is brought to you by DeBella Entertainment as we approach the 20th anniversary of Broadway Boxing. Brought to you by International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter Lou DeBella. It is sponsored by Optics, Azad Watches, Cristo Steakhouse, Nissan of Queens, and Morgan Stanley and Cabo Securities. To Morgan Stanley and Cabo Securities, thank you for your military service and your continued commitment and support to our military veterans. Our ringside judges are John Bazile, Georgie Gergov, and John McKay. Arthur Mercanti is the referee in charge of the action. Introducing the competitors first. Competing out of the blue corner. From Lowell, Massachusetts, standing 5 feet 8.5 inches tall, weighing in at 131.2 pounds, he enters this bout with an immaculate record of 13-0, 5 out of 13 victories by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Molina. And his opponent, boxing out of the red corner, from Coram, Long Island, New York. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 131.8 pounds. Entering this bout with a record of 23-4, 11 of 23 victories by way of knockout. He's a former world champion and United States Marine. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamel Herring. We go to referee Arthur Mercanti for the instructions for both competitors.
Good evening, gentlemen. We went over the rules earlier in the locker room. I expect a good, clean fight. Touch gloves, good luck.
Arthur Mercanti, the third man in the ring for our main event here at Edison Ballroom, as Jamel Herring and Nick Molina moments away from going at it in 8-round scheduled fight. When this was announced, Jamel Herring said, "I thought I could stay away, but I missed the excitement, I missed the action of a good fight, and I've missed the fans. But what's really driving me here is the opportunity to fight on Veterans Day week to honor the men and women that I've served with." And Herring is donating half of his fight purse to the military vets and the NYPD. What are you looking for here in the first round, Chris?
You know, I want to see timing. I want to see the timing that Herring has. That sort of fast twitch muscle response. Does he still have it? I know we're talking about him like he's 50 years old. I know he's not. Oh, nice. Right. Well, I think he's got it.
Good introduction from Jamel Herring here in the opening round.
I think he might have that timing. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Can he still deliver those crisp punches like that? And clearly he can, at least it seems right now. I was worried about I've been worried all week about his weight cut, just based on not just the eye test. Watching the video of the weigh-in and photos, he looked a little drawn out to me, but he doesn't look so bad here now that he's rehydrated.
There's already some redness on the face of Nick Molina. This is a contracted fight at 133 pounds. Herring said that he wanted it at 130. Molina requested it for 133 and for it to be a scheduled 8-rounder.
There's also blood, not just redness. I don't know where the blood's coming from. The nose, I guess, it looks like.
Yeah, there's a red, yeah, it is coming from the nose, the right nostril of Nick Molina.
It was that first shot.
Yep. Quality jab to the body from Jamel Herring. And a good 1-2 combo sends Molina down to the floor. First round knockdown for Jamel Herring.
And I think blood's coming from the mouth now, too. Oh, boy. Molina's going to have to show something here.
There's a lot of blood early on, over a minute to play with for Jamel Herring. And just what we did suspect that you at least had to think about is that this is an overmatch.
Huge step up.
And Herring could be in complete control. That's what we're seeing early on here in the first round. Can Molina escape here and beat the clock?
I will say Molina looks like his head is clear, he's got his legs under him, and he doesn't look overwhelmed by the moment. Having said that, he's taking some big shots here very early on.
Herring staying patient. Not trying to completely capitalize on that knockdown. The blood which pouring out from the nose and the mouth of Nick Molina.
That's got to be a broken nose, right? I mean, it's just pouring out of his nose.
Good 1-2 combo, and down to the floor again goes Nick Molina. Jamel Herring putting in work. And Arthur Mercanti waving it off first round TKO in Jamel Herring's return to action.
Well, there you go. Welcome back to the big time. You have to imagine his next fight's going to be, really a top 5, top 6 guy, if not above that. And he just showed that he's still got it. And this is a new landscape. We didn't even get a chance to talk about it. The fight's over so quick. This new 130-pound landscape, I think, is friendly to Jamel Herring.
You don't have big starry names right now at 130 pounds, but you have exciting fighters, and Jamel Herring wants to enter his name back into the mix. I'll tell you what, for the lead up to this fight, all we heard from Jamel Herring was about his defense. We didn't even get a chance to see what he could do defensively. He was in total control, letting those hands fly, delivering impactful 1-2 combos, and just simply overmatching an inexperienced Nick Molina.
Yeah, he really overwhelmed him. Could Mercante have given him the rest of the round to see if he could figure himself out? Maybe. Maybe it was a little premature. I don't know. But certainly, Molina looked to be a bit overwhelmed in there.
It's tough to argue against a responsible stoppage from Arthur Mercante.
Yeah. You got to figure that nose was broken with that very first punch. Really, the first punch that landed in the fight. It looks like it broke Molina's nose. So, well, this is not the last we're going to see of Herring. That is for sure.
So, what do you think could be next?
I mean, if you're Herring at 38. You probably want to try to lobby for a title shot, And if you watch that Cordina fight this weekend against, which was nothing against Cordina, but that fighter that fought Saturday night against Vasquez, against this fighter that we just saw, you gotta feel like a Herring is feeling pretty good about it, as is his new trainer, the Pocket Rocket, Wayne McCullough.
Regardless of who that next opponent could be, you'd have to imagine Jamel Herring wants a quick return to action after only logging 1 round here against Nick Molina. So whether it is against a champion like Joe Cordina or perhaps one of the new contenders at 130, a Lee Wood, maybe a Josh Warrington, Lamont Roach, who Herring took that O away. Roach has a title fight coming up against Ortiz, Hector Luis Ortiz coming up.
And then you got Navarrete too.
Yep.
Which that's a tough fight right there.
All right, let's make this official with Matt Compitello.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of our main event contest in 2 minutes and 49 seconds of the first round by way of technical knockout, Jamel Herring.